Welcome to the beautiful game. We'll show you some premier soccer action when the MLS takes on English teams, Leeds United and Aston Villa. We ask who is the best goalie in the MLS, plus news from around the league. Watch the beautiful game to watch soccer. It's the world's favorite sport. Can the MLS survive against an English Premiership team?
This spring, the world's youngest league faced up to the world's oldest when two English Premiership teams came to visit. The first stop was in Columbus, Ohio, where Leeds United met the Columbus Crew.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our friends from England, Leeds United.
After looking shaky initially, Columbus found its rhythm. 10 minutes into the match, Columbus realized their main worry was the Leeds defense, renowned as being one of the strongest in the English Premier League. Columbus was getting chances on a regular basis, but couldn't seem to find the back of the net. The game turned around after the Crew's Silvio Rudman was given a yellow card for fouling Robert the Terminator Molinar in the 34th minute. Molinar retaliated a few minutes later by dumping Rudman 30 yards from the goal. He was also carded, and the Crew was given a free kick that was blasted into the back of the net by Clark Varzilla. Then, in the 44th minute, Rudman had another big play, setting up Marcelo Carrera for goal number 2. Eamon Watson, Leeds United radio announcer, was on hand to broadcast the game live on the internet to the die-hard Leeds fans back home.
A header back to Mark Beanie. No sign of movement down.
There were also some Leeds fans in the stadium who shared their opinions.
What do you feel about the various styles of play between English Premier League and what you've seen here with the MLS soccer?
Well, for one thing, we got a narrow pitch right here. It's a little bit smaller, so we're not used to that. No excuse or nothing. But we're a little bit more physical over there in England. We like that.
We'll score again.
Leeds has the dubious reputation of being the lowest scoring team in the English Premier League.
I know we'll score again some sunny day.
They did, however, manage to score one in the 89th minute with a header from David Weatherall. Unfortunately, it wasn't enough to turn the tide, and the end result was Columbus 2, Leeds United 1. Not a great result for the Brits.
Columbus Crew have got a lot of talented players. The pitch was very small for us and very heavy today. And I think probably the pace of the game is a little slower than what we used to back home. But we have come off the back of a long, hard season. We played nearly 50 games. So, yeah, we battled away, and as I say, they've got some talented players, and I don't think they're far off what the standard is in England.
I thought they played really well today. I thought they dominated most of it, but I think our lads were tired after end of a round season and what have you. So I thought they did well, took the chances.
Well, I think after a long season we expected it to be a tough game because the Columbus Crew are just starting off in their season really. They've only played 6 or 7 games, I believe. And we knew it would be tough, and they came out with the incentive to win the game. We're not at full strength, but we're not making any excuses. I thought they played very well against us, and a pitch that was wet but smaller than we're used to, and they made it very difficult for us.
I think it was a tremendous performance from the Columbus crew tonight. I've been around long enough to know that Leeds had 4 or 5 of their big-time players that weren't here, and I appreciate them coming to play us and obviously putting their reputation on the line. And you know, back in England, they may get slagged a little bit for losing to us, but you know, I think it's a great performance from our team tonight. We played well defensively, we played well attacking-wise, and we used a lot of players, and no one got injured from either side, and I think that's important. It's a good relationship to start, and I hope the friendship continues, and perhaps we can return the favor by going there sometime. And I thought it was a great performance, and I really appreciate them coming here and playing us.
Next stop for Leeds on their whirlwind U.S. tour was the nation's capital and home of the MLS Cup winners, DC United.
We're here at RFK Stadium to see DC United, the MLS champions, take on Leeds United from England.
After the disappointing result at Columbus, Leeds were clearly not in the mood to suffer another loss to American opposition in front of their loud and proud support. A goal in the 19th minute from Scotsman Derek Lilly seemed to satisfy the confident Englishman.
And a goal! Well, it was a beautiful goal.
How do you think they're squaring up to the MLS champions here?
Yeah, they're doing well. Basically what it is, we played Columbus, we lost 2-0. We
2-1.
Was it 2-1?
You got a last-minute goal.
Well, that I didn't know about, but there you go, you know. And basically, we're not going to lose against DC. Columbus aren't as good as DC, but we're going to put out a stronger team because we're not going to go home losing 2 games to American teams. I don't care how good DC are, and we're proving it right here, right now. Oh, there we go again. But at least we scored.
Well, I mean, Leeds have just brought out, you know, Bob standard team, and they're just controlling the game. DC aren't a bad team over here, but obviously against a decent-ish English team, they're struggling.
I thought Derek Lilly's goal was world class. A Leeds player in an attacking position, getting the ball on target. We haven't seen too much of that this season, so anything on target is great. If it goes in the back of the net, it's a bonus, to be honest with you.
We also found a fan of ours amongst the crowd.
What's this T-shirt you're wearing?
Oh, well, it's the beautiful game, MIC soccer, you know. Brilliant. Mate of mine gave it to me.
The DC United fans were equally as confident that their championship team would triumph.
Are they better than you guys?
No way, no. No, they're not better than us.
And how do you think your team is facing up to Leeds on the field?
It looked like the Leeds fans would have their way. It wasn't until the 89th minute that DC's Tony Sinea snaked a beautiful shot past the grasp of Leeds goalkeeper Nigel Martin. With 1 minute left to go, DC had tied the game. It was the second good result for an MLS team going up against a seasoned opponent.
You've come out here for a couple of games against Major League. Has the quality of the opposition surprised you?
I don't think so, because we knew that the football over here is improving, and I know a few other players over here, so we knew the standard will be quite good.
I thought in the nicest possible way that the games were played in a spirit, but at the end of it, they're friendly matches. There's nothing at stake, and in league games at home or league games against 2 teams in America, it gives you that edge when you know there's something really at stake.
As far as we're concerned, to get a result against a Premier League team is a good result. Getting a chance to play some new players is a real positive, and hopefully we will have our team ready to play on Sunday as well.
I've grown up watching the Premier League, and I know a lot of guys on my team have, and you know, to get an opportunity to play a team like Leeds is like a dream come true.
So what's your team in the Premiership then?
I like Manchester.
Everybody likes Manchester United.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Man United. Hey, Man United! We only hate Man United.
Leeds United returned home without a victory, and it was now left up to Aston Villa to uphold the honor of the English. Later in the show, we'll tell you how they got on.
During this season, the beautiful game will bring you exceptional highlight footage, courtesy of Major League Soccer, combined with the latest dance music from Jackpot Records. Take a look at MLS Cup winners DC United with Silent Skies by Paul DeArragin. Goalkeepers, who's the best in the MLS? Up next.
Whether it's their lightning-fast reflexes, on-field acrobatics, their intensity under pressure, or the fact that they're the only players on the field wearing a different uniform, goalkeepers are soccer players in a class by themselves. Exactly how this class is judged varies from critic to critic, but what makes a great goalkeeper stand out?
The goalkeeper's presence on the field. I think that's a really big factor that you can't really quantify. It's sort of an intangible. You know, that's something maybe a Jorge Campos has.
A great goalkeeper isn't afraid to take bad chances or stuff like that.
I think it's a combination of being physical and mental. I think you have to be pretty athletic to be a goalie. You have to run fast, jump, and have good soft hands. And I think mentally you have to be strong. Like if you give up a goal or something, you can't get down. You have to always stay concentrated because you can go 90 minutes and not see one shot, and then 90th minute see a shot and give up a goal. So I think you got to stay pretty focused.
Making the great save is important, but really it does come down to fundamentals. As a goalkeeper, you got to not make the mistakes that cost your team the game, because it comes down to one goal in the big games.
Vegas, the shot into the net. Into the net. Goal, Jeff.
Well, the way I look at it always is that you have to make all the saves you're supposed to make, and you have to make some of the saves you're not supposed to make, and that, I think that separates the good ones from the great ones, and this league goalkeeping got a lot better this year than it was last year.
I think it's all in your mind and your heart. I mean, if you want to win, and you want to play, then sometimes your body does things that you probably didn't think it could do before.
To the feet of Friedel. He shoots, cleared off the line for the
We've heard from our judges, but the question remains, who is the best keeper in the MLS?
Basically myself, because it's my real position. No. I think, acquiring Brad Friedel, this year, halfway through the season, was very good. He's a good goalkeeper. He's very disciplined, and, he's playing at the highest level right now with the national team, so that training's gone very well. Tony Miola is a very good goalkeeper as well as our goalkeeper, Mark Simpson. I mean, we have three right now, so Jeff Causey and Scott Garlick. So it's competition around the league.
I'd probably say Tony Miola, just because he's so quick, and he plays at a different level than a lot of the other keepers, and he's a born leader out there, and he really knows what he's doing, and he controls the defense.
The top two would have to be Brad Friedel and Tony Miola.
But you know, the other guys, they're also very good goalkeepers. I don't think it's difficult to pinpoint one person.
Campos, yeah, it would have to be Campos. 'Cause I think he's played in a World League, and in the MLS. I mean, it's a little bit of a smaller league, so it's a little bit younger. But you have to have the experience from the World Leagues.
Brad Friedel's in a class by himself. I mean, he's a great goalie. He's young, he's athletic, he's big, and I remember him playing against him in college, saying this guy's going to be great, and he is.
I would say Mark Dodd, because he's made it for all the games. Tony Meola, he's elevated his play, and then everybody's fan favorite is Jorge Campos, of course, but he's not there for the whole season, so, and he gets injured.
You've got a few very good goalkeepers. Obviously, American goalkeepers. You have Mark Dodd, you've got Tony Meola, you've got Brad Friedel in Columbus. Goalkeeping is strong in this league.
Okay, you heard from the players, you heard from the fans. Let's hear it from the horses' mouths.
I think Brad Friedel, tonight he played very, very well, and you know, he kept them in the game and did a really good job for them. You know, it's the reason why the guy's on the national team is because he's good.
That's a tough question. I mean, I guess you'd have to put it down. You know, there's two probably even, Mark Dodd and Tony here in New York.
I think the best goalkeepers in this league are the ones that, you know, week in and week out put in a good, strong effort. You know, win or lose, they come up with good saves and keep their team in it and give them chances. You know, Friedel's done a nice job, and you know, Tony's done well in New York as well. So, you know, there's some good goalkeepers in this league.
As you can see, the opinions vary, but one thing remains clear. With Tony the Wall Meola, Walter the Spider-Man Zenga, Senor Campos, and the others in goal, the debate will continue long after the saves are blown and the shootouts are won.
Next, find out if the Columbus Crew will be building a new stadium.
And I saw 4 failures, 4 attempts to turn soccer into a professional game in America fail. And it looks like this is one of the best venues I've seen so far. The problem here is that the pitch is too small.
Now that America finally has a successful soccer league, the call has gone out to unify the sport by standardizing the playing field. At the core of the issue is the pitch itself. Can world-class players be expected to play on substandard fields? The outcome of this debate may predict the future vitality of the sport. Nowhere is this more evident than in Columbus, Ohio, where voters are being asked whether tax money should be used to build a new stadium and arena. They call it Issue 1.
We got to do it. We got to do it. It's what Columbus needs to move forward. It's good economically, and we love the sport.
By voting for Issue 1 will give us another reason to keep our kids at town so they don't have to go to Chicago, they don't have to move to New York, they don't have to move to LA.
In addition to keeping the players at home, proponents of Issue 1 feel that a multiple-use facility, one that will attract other venues, is key to the financial success of Columbus.
It's huge. Without it, we don't know whether the crew's going to stay here, and it means long-term a lot of money, dollars into the city. They just announced we're going to get the All-Star game and the MLS Cup here, and besides that, you know, you're talking about the outdoor stadium, you're talking about an arena issue also, possibly an NHL franchise. It's huge for the city. It's a must. It's got to happen.
It's about the kids having a place for everyone to go, something to do, not just stand around.
Columbus is an international town. We have an international airport, but certainly with a stadium and an arena, we're going to be able to be a real global city. We're going to be a destination location, and that's what we hope to have accomplished here. It's not just a dream, it's a reality.
But for now, it is a dream. On May 6, Issue 1 failed to pass the voters by a 12% margin. 56% of the voters rejected the investment in their community and in the game itself. The Columbus Crew will have to call Ohio Stadium home for now, but the team still has high hopes for first-class soccer participation in a new arena.
Is showing people what a truly first-class event this is. You look at the pre-party piece with the crew kicker party over at the Holiday Inn, packed, people having a blast, and all of the tailgating, and they all come inside for a wonderful party under the stars at Ohio Stadium. Now that thing can be done in a more modern facility, and I hope that that's what that illustrated for people.
The Beautiful Game is made for the fans, by the fans, and we need your help. If you want to see more about your team and are prepared to do something about it, write us or contact us at our website, www.thebeautifulgame.com. Also, check out our site for features, showtimes, and merchandise. How are the Dallas Burns' new players settling in? Next. The Dallas Burn recently added 2 new international players to its stable. Mexican national Damian Alvarez and veteran Swiss star Lance Suter. We went to the Dallas-Tampa game to see how they were settling in. The Burn fans seemed elated over the team's new recipe for success.
We're kind of joking around about it being kind of a jalapeno Swiss cheese here. It's a really great combination, and as you just maybe saw there, so we're really looking forward to a lot more fans coming out in great games.
Álvarez y el otro son los jugadores que le van a dar a Dallas lo que necesitan para jugar y poder ganar. So they complement each other very well, and it's one of those things that, whether it's in the middle or striking, they complement each other, and hopefully they're going to be the right combination for Dallas.
Some fans were even imitating Suter's style.
We're all wearing these in honor of Alain Suter joining the team. He wears a do-rag to protect him from the heat. He's from Switzerland, not quite used to the kind of heat we have here. So we did this to show that we're supporting him as well as our team.
The new boys helped Dallas to a 2-0 victory over Tampa. Back in the locker room, we asked the players about the new arrivals.
That, I think it gives us, when you have someone of that caliber on the field, you just, you have some, some confidence that you didn't have before. And I think just finding him, getting him the ball, and, he had a lot of space, and anytime that someone that good has the ball with that much space, there's bound to be some damage done. So, yeah, it gives everyone some confidence.
What did you think about Alvarez's play tonight?
I thought it's a great debut for Alvarez. You can tell he's going to be a player that's going to get a lot of opportunities, and he can put the ball in the back of the net. So I think he brings a whole nother dimension to the team. Along with Dante and Jarrell up front. You got to have a very good defense to beat us now.
What are your thoughts on your first game here in MLS so far?
Pues que fue un buen partido, que el equipo ganó y bueno, qué mejor empezar con un gol, ¿no? Para la cuenta personal.
Great game, and very happy the team won, and it's nice to start off with 1 goal.
What have you thought so far of the standard of play here in MLS?
It's a good standard. We have today we saw a very good game in a high level. We play a very good game. We play a simple game and a lot of opportunities to score, and we dominate for the whole game, and it was really fun to play today.
In the next few weeks, Dallas plays the Metro Stars at home on June 15th and the Revolution in New England on June 22nd. If you love the U.S. national team and want to find out more about Sam's Army, their official supporters club, watch the next Beautiful Game. Check our website for local listings in your area, www.thebeautifulgame.com. After Leeds returned home without a win, the pressure was on Aston Villa to try and gain a victory for the English Premiership. Their last chance was this game against the Los Angeles Galaxy. The Galaxy got the first goal, and even though Villa did manage to equalize, it wasn't enough, and the end result was a 1-1 tie. In their brief stay, the English hadn't managed a single victory, which leads us to ask, Is the MLS now good enough to compete against the English Premier League?
I think the trouble with Major League Soccer is pretty much like the nationwide in England. You've got some very good players, but you don't have 11 good players to make up every team, so you have to surround them with players who are like 50-50. So that the league has always been drawn down to basically a hacking level. The players with talent are going to have to deal with coming up against players who basically don't have the skill level to compete with them, and that's always going to hold the league down. When they develop a program where they can get 11 solid players on every team, then it's got a chance of going something. But right now, I mean, without exposure to the world game in places like Europe, South America, Mexico even, you know, it's always going to stay at this 50-50 level, and it won't improve that much.
Do you think the MLS teams could compete in the Premiership, or maybe the best of them could?
No, not yet. Not yet. And the best of our teams playing well, I think, would be mid-table at best. I mean, clearly the top Premiership teams are in a totally different league.
Where do you see MLS being in about 5 or 10 years? Do you think they'll be able to compete with some of the European leagues?
Yeah, I'd give it 10 years.
And we'll give the last word to ex-Premiership player John Harkes.
Now, do you think DC could be competitive in the Premiership or survive in the Premiership?
It's a good question. I think that in order to answer that fairly, I think we would have to be over there and train properly for probably 2 or 3 months beforehand just to get some friendly games in and get up to that pace. It's a lot faster pace, but at the same time, we tend to keep the ball a bit more. You know, we don't play the long ball as much, and you know, it's 2 different styles, but I think if we competed in that style for a while, I think we'd be good.
Backing up the header, it's in the net, and a goal! Well, it was a beautiful goal.